I'm Alan Kenny, Managing Editor with REIT.com, and I'm at the Four Seasons Hotel in Washington, D.C. for the fall meeting of the Real Estate Roundtable. Joining me is Jim Fetgatter, Chief Executive at FIRPTA, to talk with us a little bit about some of the developments in foreign investment in real estate. Jim, one of the big roadblocks that sometimes comes up when it comes to non-U.S. investment coming into the United States is FIRPTA. Can you give us an idea about where things might stand on a potential FIRPTA reform?
There are bills in both houses that are targeted to amend some of the FIRPTA regulations. We will see what happens. I think that it has some momentum. I think the most encouraging sign is that people are talking about it. I mean, I've been doing this job for 20 years. FIRPTA has been around for 25 years. And I've never seen as much buzz about FIRPTA as I have now. Part of the reason is because foreign investors today have a lot of choices where they put their money. 25 years ago, the U.S. really was the only option for them other than their own country. So it's a competitive issue now with the U.S. in competition with others, and FIRPTA really puts us at a disadvantage.
And how about the content of those bills? Would you say that the things being proposed will be effective in terms of, lifting the restrictions? I
think they'll be effective. Certainly one of them affects the REIT industry, which raises the threshold from 5% to 10% before you become subject to FIRPTA. So that's certainly good for the REIT industry, and it's good for the foreign investment industry. Obviously, FIRPTA covers a lot more than that, so these bills don't really touch those foreign investors who invest directly. The other issue, really, which is maybe the most important issue for our members, is a reversal of IRS 2007-55 ruling on liquidating distributions of REITs, which said, in effect, that any distribution of a liquidating REIT would be subject to FIRPTA, which was a reversal of previous positions that they'd taken. That is also in this bill, along with the raise from 5% to 10%.
All right, Jim, I want to talk with you about the capital markets. Where are we seeing a lot of the investment in the United States from abroad coming from?
Well, to be honest, you're not seeing a whole lot of it right now. Like a lot of our domestic investors, things really slowed down at mid-year when there was a fear of another recession. Nobody really knew what was happening in the United States. So it's fairly flat. I just came back from a huge conference in Munich, Germany, and the feeling there was just very sort of flat. However, there is a lot of investment coming from Canada. There still is some investment coming from Germany, but Europe has its own set of issues to sort out, and so I would say still perhaps Germany, certainly Canada. We're beginning to see some from the Middle East. I think the sovereign wealth funds are, in some instances, waiting to see what goes on with some of this legislation.
And then how about in terms of specific markets or sectors? Is there anywhere in the United States that they're really targeting?
Well, there's really two. Washington, D.C. and New York City. And perhaps maybe a secondary tier would be San Francisco and Boston. It's the usual suspects, but right now it's more so than in the past.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Jim.
All right, you're welcome.
And for more information on this and other REIT news and analysis, check out REIT.com.